Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Luke McCaffrey's rise in Washington has been nothing short of captivating. In a season that began with questions, injuries, and uncertainty, the young wide receiver has become one of the brightest revelations for the Commanders. From the first snap of training camp to the latest game day under the lights, McCaffrey has displayed a confidence, precision, and maturity that wasn't as visible during his rookie campaign. Fans, coaches, and even teammates have noticed the transformation, but what's truly fascinating is what fueled this leap forward: an unexpected offseason mentor who quietly helped reshape his game from the ground up. The Washington Commanders entered this season facing adversity before it even truly began. Injuries piled up across the roster, particularly in the wide receiver room, with star playmaker Terry McLaurin sidelined, and key contributor Noah Brown also missing multiple weeks. The offense, led by the electrifying Jaden Daniels and coordinated by Cliff Kingsbury, needed someone to step up, not just as a body on the field, but as a reliable weapon capable of carrying the load in high-pressure moments. That someone turned out to be Luke McCaffrey, a third-round pick in 2024 who had shown flashes of potential, but hadn't yet put everything together. And yet, from the moment the season kicked off, McCaffrey looked different. He moved with more explosiveness, attacked his routes with purpose, and seemed to have a sharper awareness of spacing and timing. His cuts were cleaner, his hands steadier, his vision clearer. Daniels noticed it immediately, praising the young receiver's chemistry and precision. Kingsbury noticed it too. The offensive guru began dialing up more plays designed to isolate McCaffrey in man coverage or use his speed and route creativity to exploit zone gaps. The transformation wasn't an accident. It was the product of a relentless offseason of work. And, surprisingly, the guidance of a veteran who has carved out a career mastering the nuances of the position. That mentor was none other than Adam Thielen. Yes, that Adam Thielen, the undrafted underdog who became one of the NFL's most technically refined route runners and a two-time Pro Bowler with the Minnesota Vikings before continuing his career in Carolina. It turns out that while training in Charlotte during the offseason, McCaffrey connected with Thielen, who opened his home, his playbook, and his perspective to the young receiver. McCaffrey later revealed the story in an interview, recalling how Thielen welcomed him in, showed him the finer details of preparation, and even let him observe private workout sessions, lessons that proved invaluable once training camp rolled around. "He's an incredible person," McCaffrey said, smiling as he recalled those days in North Carolina. "It was super nice of him to help me out with that when I was in Charlotte at the time training, and he let me come to his house and watch him throw and stuff so I could get a feel." For Thielen, helping McCaffrey wasn't about publicity or reputation. It was about passing along the craft. Thielen, who had once clawed his way from practice squad obscurity to become one of the most consistent slot threats in the league, recognized something in McCaffrey: the hunger, the attention to detail, the unrelenting desire to improve. And for Luke, the connection was personal. His older brother, Christian McCaffrey, had been a superstar in Carolina for years before being traded to San Francisco, so there was a natural link between the families. Yet this mentorship was entirely professional, driven by shared respect and a mutual love for the game. Thielen's lessons weren't about flashy plays or viral highlights. They were about the subtle art of route running, how to disguise intentions, how to manipulate defenders' hips, how to sell one direction before cutting the other way, and how to read leverage mid-route. He taught McCaffrey how to use body control and eye discipline to make defensive backs hesitate, how to win the mental battle before the physical one even began. These were the hidden layers of mastery that Thielen had built his career upon, and McCaffrey absorbed them like a sponge. By the time McCaffrey reported to Commanders training camp, the results were immediate. Coaches noticed that he was smoother coming out of breaks. His timing with Daniels improved dramatically. He wasn't just running routes anymore. He was crafting them, anticipating coverages, and adapting on the fly. That's the kind of growth that doesn't just come from film study or reps on the practice field. It comes from mentorship, from someone who has lived through the grind and knows how to turn small details into major advantages. What's even more impressive is how McCaffrey has carried that discipline into the chaos of real games. Whether it's a 3rd and long in the fourth quarter or a crucial red zone possession, Daniels has started to look McCaffrey's way more often. And McCaffrey has rewarded that trust, hauling in contested catches, turning short passes into chain-moving gains, and even serving as a reliable kick returner when the team needed versatility. His confidence seems to grow each week, and it's clear that he's not just playing with athleticism, he's playing with purpose. It's almost poetic that his breakout year coincides with a season where Washington desperately needed new leadership and stability. McLaurin remains the emotional anchor of the receiver group, but McCaffrey's rise has added depth, energy, and unpredictability to the offense. In Kingsbury's system, which thrives on timing, motion, and flexibility, McCaffrey's ability to operate from the slot or outside has become a tactical weapon. He's shown that he can stretch the field, attack underneath zones, and block effectively in the run game, the kind of well-rounded profile that keeps him on the field regardless of personnel rotations. But beyond the statistics, beyond the touchdowns and highlight reels, there's something more meaningful happening here. McCaffrey's development is a story about mentorship, humility, and the quiet grind behind greatness. It's about a young player realizing that talent alone won't separate him in a league filled with athletic freaks and seasoned veterans. It's about understanding that growth often comes from learning, not just doing. And in an era where social media often glorifies instant success, McCaffrey's journey is a refreshing reminder that the true leaps happen behind the scenes, in the hours when no one is watching. Adam Thielen, now nearing the twilight of his career, has always represented that kind of professionalism. His path from undrafted prospect to Pro Bowler has been studied by countless young receivers trying to emulate his technique and mentality. The fact that McCaffrey sought him out and that Thielen opened the door says a lot about both men. It's a passing of knowledge, a continuation of the wide receiver lineage that thrives on mentorship. In Washington, McCaffrey's teammates have felt the ripple effect. They see the way he approaches film sessions, the way he practices, the way he communicates with Daniels on the sideline. There's a calmness to his demeanor now, a confidence rooted not in arrogance, but in preparation. Coaches often say that growth in the NFL is never linear. Players hit plateaus, face setbacks, and sometimes even regress before taking another step forward. But for McCaffrey, that offseason work gave him the foundation to break through that plateau and reach a new level. As the Commanders fight through a turbulent but promising season, McCaffrey's emergence has become one of the team's defining storylines. In a locker room filled with young talent, he's quickly becoming one of the trusted voices. And for fans, it's been rewarding to watch his evolution from a developmental prospect to a genuine playmaker with the potential to shape the franchise's future. When the season ends, whenever that may be, and McCaffrey looks back on this pivotal chapter of his career, he'll likely remember those quiet afternoons in Charlotte, the drills in Thielen's backyard, the conversations about angles, reads, and mental toughness, the realization that greatness is built, not gifted. Those were the moments that transformed him, that sharpened the raw potential into polished production. And if the Commanders continue to rise with their young core, if Jayden Daniels cements himself as the franchise quarterback and Kingsbury's offense continues to flourish, McCaffrey will remain a key piece of that puzzle. His story is still being written, but its early chapters are defined by resilience, curiosity, and the wisdom of a mentor who once walked the same uncertain path. For now, every crisp route, every third-down conversion, every game-changing return serves as a living testament to that off-season connection. Luke McCaffrey may be blazing his own trail in Washington, but the fingerprints of Adam Thielen's influence are woven into every step he takes. And in the unpredictable, ever-evolving world of the NFL, that kind of mentorship might just be the most valuable advantage of all. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. It's official, folks, and if you've been waiting for a bombshell in the NFL offseason, well, buckle up, because it just dropped. CeeDee Lamb, the dynamic, game-breaking wide receiver who has been lighting up stadiums and rewriting highlight reels for years, has officially signed with the Washington Commanders. Yes, you heard that right. Lamb, who has been one of the most electrifying talents in the league, a player who seemingly redefines what a modern wide receiver can do every single Sunday, is now suiting up for Washington, and the implications of this move are massive, both on and off the field. Now, We all know Lamb isn't just your average wideout. This is a player who has the rare combination of size, speed, agility, and hands that seem almost magnetic, capable of turning a broken play into a 70-yard touchdown in the blink of an eye. He's a player who commands attention not just from defenders, but from entire game plans. And now, the Commanders are lucky enough, or ambitious enough, to have him in their arsenal. Rumor has it that this signing was the culmination of weeks of behind-the-scenes maneuvering, late-night phone calls, and more than a little intrigue that's had fans and insiders buzzing. Sources close to the situation have suggested that the Commanders' front office recognized that adding Lamb wasn't just about upgrading the receiving core. It was about making a statement to the league. They wanted to say, loud and clear, we're in the hunt. We're serious about contending. And let's be honest, landing a player of Lamb's caliber sends a message louder than any press release or flashy social media post ever could. Now, let's talk about what this means for Washington's offense, because this isn't just a story about a flashy signing or a big paycheck. This is a seismic shift in the team's identity. Imagine the playbook expanding overnight. The quarterback now able to throw with absolute confidence, knowing there's a legitimate deep threat who can stretch defenses, break tackles, and make catches that defy physics. The chemistry potential here is off the charts. Analysts and fans alike have already started speculating about the combination plays we might see, the vertical threats, the cross-field dynamics, and let's not forget the inevitable red zone fireworks. Lamb doesn't just catch passes, he changes how defenses have to approach the entire field. And there's more to it than just football strategy. Bringing Lamb in could very well reshape the locker room dynamic, boost team morale, and signal to other free agents and young talent that Washington is a destination, not just a stop on a resume. The ripple effect here could be huge. Rumors are swirling that the team's social media accounts and marketing teams are already plotting campaigns that center around Lamb's arrival. Because a player like him doesn't just score touchdowns, he sells jerseys, fills seats, and turns casual fans into lifelong supporters. And of course, the fan base? You can bet that Washington supporters are already buzzing, trending hashtags and memes spreading like wildfire. Some fans are ecstatic, others skeptical, but one thing is certain, nobody is ignoring this move. But let's dig a little deeper, because in the world of sports rumors, nothing is ever as simple as the press release says. Insiders have been whispering that there were multiple teams in the running, some willing to offer sky-high contracts, others banking on Lamb's desire to join a team on the rise with a quarterback who can really utilize his skill set. Yet, Washington won out, and that's got everyone talking. Was it the vision that the front office pitched? Was it the offensive scheme? Or perhaps it was the allure of being the centerpiece of a franchise looking to rewrite its narrative? The speculation is part of the fun here. And you better believe the media landscape is going to explode over the next few weeks with analysis, hot takes, and endless debate over whether this was the right move for Lamb, for the Commanders, and for the league as a whole. There's even chatter that this signing could influence draft strategies and trade decisions elsewhere, as teams scramble to respond to Washington suddenly becoming a much more formidable opponent in the NFC East. Now, we can't ignore the narrative surrounding Lamb himself. This is a player who has been building a reputation as one of the most explosive offensive weapons in recent NFL history. He's been praised for his work ethic, his ability to make defenders look foolish in the open field, and his knack for coming through in clutch situations. Joining the Commanders isn't just a career move, it's a statement. It's a declaration that Lamb is ready to take his game to a new level, to become the centerpiece of a team's aspirations, and to prove that he's more than just a standout receiver. He's a generational talent capable of altering the trajectory of a franchise. And the timing of this move is interesting too. With free agency in full swing and teams making calculated gambles, Washington's move to secure Lamb might just signal the start of a domino effect. Other teams are watching closely, evaluating their own rosters, and maybe reconsidering their priorities in light of this signing. You can already feel the tension building, the sort of subtle undercurrent that only a move of this magnitude can create. Of course, there are always questions and potential challenges. Integrating a player like Lamb isn't as simple as writing a check and expecting magic to happen overnight. There's playbook mastery, chemistry with the quarterback, timing with the offensive line, and adjusting to the new city, media scrutiny, and expectations that come with being a high-profile addition. But if anyone can handle that pressure, it's Lamb. The whispers in the NFL community suggest that he thrives under it, that the louder the spotlight, the more he flourishes. And for Washington, the hope is that this addition ignites a spark that can carry through the season, perhaps even shifting the perception of the team in the eyes of fans, analysts, and competitors alike. This signing isn't just a move. It's a conversation starter, a headline generator, and a rumor mill in itself. Let's not forget the fan reaction, which is already becoming its own story. From social media frenzy to heated debates in forums, Lamb's arrival has people speculating about everything from jersey sales to offensive rankings. Some are dreaming about deep playoff runs, imagining Lamb on highlight reels in the playoffs, while others are questioning how the team will balance salary cap concerns and the rest of the roster. It's exactly the kind of chatter that makes NFL offseasons so thrilling. And you can almost hear the sports bars and living rooms across the country buzzing with hypothetical lineups, projected statistics, and endless what-if scenarios. Lamb's move to the Commanders isn't just a headline. It's a catalyst for conversation, debate, and excitement that could last all the way through the season. In the end, this signing represents more than just a player changing teams. It's a symbol of ambition, a hint of the shifting balance of power in the league, and a potential turning point for a franchise eager to prove it belongs among the elite. CeeDee Lamb in a Commander's uniform is a narrative waiting to unfold, a story that will be told in highlight reels, stats sheets, and locker room chemistry for years to come. And if the rumors, whispers, and speculation hold true, this could be just the beginning of an offseason filled with moves designed to shake up the NFL landscape. The league is watching, fans are buzzing, and the Commanders? Well, they're betting big that this is the kind of move that doesn't just pay off on the field, but reverberates across the sport. So strap in, because if the early chatter is any indication, Washington just changed the conversation, and CeeDee Lamb is right at the center of it all, ready to make defenders look foolish, fans jump out of their seats, and the NFL world stop and take notice. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.